As you guys can see from behind me right here, my closet is done. But that's not why we're here to talk about. By the way, Formula 1 car right up there. Great! And we've got my new little guys here. There's going to be two more next to that. The 2022 car and the 2023 car, and then I'm going to be done because then I don't have any room. And right here where you see the wolf picture, which my nan made, that's going to be where the fan art is going to be. So yeah, go into my description, just anywhere, and there you will find the place where you can submit your fan art, and maybe one day it'll be right there and I will give a shout out to it. But anyway, we're here to talk about MotoGP and Formula 1. So both race classes returned to a track which they didn't go to since the pandemic started. MotoGP went to Thailand, which I thought was in since 2019, but it was actually in since 2018. But I might have just forgotten, because there are so many Marc Marquez victories that this one just slipped past my mind. But yeah, it was a rain. It was both Grand Prix weekends were rainy. It was pouring it down, like for real, guys. It was pouring down with rain. During the Moto3 there was nothing, so we'll just start with that one. Mainly because that one got driven at like 7 or something. I remember I set an alarm for quarter to 7 Dutch time, so quarter to 6 really. So yeah, it was early because they're in Thailand and they race basically in the afternoon. But yeah, the retirements were Adrian Fernandez, Kaito Toba, John McPhee, Suzuki, and Sergio Garcia. Right now, I think Guevara can put his hands on the trophy, but I think that also Dennis Foggia also has a hand on there. It's late today, guys. I'm recording this at like what time? At like 7 in the evening. So yeah. It was a dry race. Here there are no Thai drivers. This is the only one where Dennis Onchu didn't get points, but he did finish the race. But the news has been out that he signed for KTM factory team. So he's staying in the Moto3. I'm super happy. He's my favorite Moto3 driver, and we get to enjoy more of his races and probably some victories. The last Turkish victory in the Moto3 dates back to 2018, where Onchu's twin brother Kan Onchu won the race as a test driver or as a wild card driver. So that was pretty exciting as well. So yeah. Last one in the points, Scott Ogden, which is pretty cool. Andrea Minho has finally gotten a good race, but it's probably gonna go. Stefano Nepa, good race. Ricciardo Rossi, good race because he got onto the podium. Dennis Foggia keeps his championship hopes alive with a victory, and in second is Ayumu Sasaki. That man has been on the podium for quite some time. Diogo Moreira P6 is good. Isaac Guevara P5, yeah. Yeah. There are no Thai drivers here. In the Moto2 there are 2, but yeah. Next weekend they're going to Phillip Island. And Joel Kelso is, well, not next weekend, of course. It's the weekend after that. And Joel Kelso is from from Australia. So yeah, he's P12 now. So yeah, the championship. Let's have a look at that, because I think this is also an exciting one. I know for the MotoGP it's so damn close. I don't know the difference between each other. I can't do quick maths. It must be like 51 points. No, 49 points. I think 49. Wait, let's fire up my watch calculator. We need the watch calculator. Well, it still has the things from last time I used this. So 265 minus 216 equals, I was right, 49 points between the two drivers. So that still isn't 50. There are still 3 races to go. So it's getting there. It's getting to the point where we can finally say that I think Rivera could potentially become champion. It is close though. Let's have a look at the teams, because I think Gaviota Gasgas Aspatin is victorious here. I don't know. How about constructors? Because you don't hear anything of that. Thank you for loading. No, that's still not decided. There's like 300 for Honda, 323 for Gasgas. KTM is still in there. So yeah. Now we go to the Moto 2. Well, this race, they didn't finish a lot of laps. The Moto 3, they finished all the laps, which was, I believe, 22. But the timing, the live timing bit where you can see like where each driver is, it had technical difficulties. So yeah, basically only a couple of laps in total. We had the live timing sheets, and for the rest of the race, we had to guess where everyone was. It was exciting though. It was good. Let's go and have a look at the retirements of the Moto 2. So Cameron Barbier crashed out. Firmin Aldeguer crashed out. Unfortunately, Polman Somkia Chantra, who is from Thailand, crashed out. And I was like, no, he does not deserve this. Jeremy Alcoba crashed out, and I don't know what NC means for Lorenzo Dalla Porta. Oh, not classified. Now I know what it means. Basically, there was a rain on grid procedure. Start got delayed a little because it was starting to rain. Keep in mind, this was around 7:20 in UK time. So yeah, it was basically that early in the morning for us. For me, it was 8:20 though, but whatever. Yeah, it was. It started to rain. They did go and race, but only for 8 laps. And then the race got red flagged. Then they waited a couple of minutes. Then they got a time, and then it was like, no, it's raining still a bit too much. They went outside, stuck a hand outside, being like, yeah, it's still raining, guys. It's still raining. We should keep this circle going and wait for another 15 minutes. So another 15 minutes passes by, and they finally get a time to go out. But as soon as the pit lane closes, the race got red flagged again, and it did not restart. So this was probably the shortest ever race driven on the Moto 2. They already had shortened it from 24 or 23 to 16. So yeah, and it was gonna be a 5-lap sprint race, but it didn't happen. So yeah. Let's have a look at the Dutchies. Zonta ahead of Boban Schneider in P17 and P18 outside of the points. Zonta did drive into the points on P15 for such a long time. If the race had been red flagged just a tad bit earlier, then he may have gotten some first points. That man deserves it. So for the other drivers, if you're driving ahead of Zonta and you're driving in the points, just give him the spot. Please. 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 The other Thai driver, Kenneth Kubo, in P6. And by the way, guys, this race, it did not go, the race was not completed. There was not 2/3 of the race distance completed for it to be called off or to be just stopped. If a red flag falls just a few laps after the race start, then they restart. And basically, if it is near the end, like just a little past halfway, then it's red flags, then they also keep going. But if it's red flags like with like 5 laps to go or something, and they're doing like, or not 5 laps to go, but like 4 laps to go, and for example they are driving a race of 15 laps, then yes, then it is red flagged and completely stopped, and the session will not be restarted. But yeah, with this, because it got red flagged twice, they were awarded half points. And it brought back, it was really big deja vu for the Formula 1 fans, because this is exactly what happened in, in Spa-Francorchamps last year. They also got awarded half points. The winner was Tony Arbolino. Philip Salage made an appearance on the podium on the second, and then Aaron Canet in third. And they had a funny moment, which I cannot find anywhere, where Aaron Canet, where they won these golf carts, because they got driven to the podium on golf carts, which was already hilarious. But then the golf cart just stopped, and then Aaron Canet was jumping, like bouncing, and just drove backwards into a barrier. All of them were laughing. They were like shaking from laughing. It was so funny. But yeah, that's the podium. Jake Dixon actually stayed on the bike for once. Vietti in the top 10 for once. Normally he's in the gravel trap, but we won't talk about that. Last guy into the points is Marcel Schrotter. But yeah, let's now look at the standings, because I'm intrigued. So yeah. Only 1 point difference between Augusto Fernandez and Ayogura. I want to know, does it show that they got half points? No, it does not. Like, what the heck? These things are wrong. Like, they're pretty wrong, these things, because apparently they can't do half points here. So I'm gonna have to look it up right now for you guys. Moto 2. Standings 2022. I'm just gonna have to go from this one, which is the official site. Now right here it shows 2 points difference. So yeah. I'm not sure which one is correct though. I'm also intrigued, like, which one is Rookie of the Year? Right now it's Pedro Acosta. Yeah. Oh, right here it shows half points. Wow. Alright. Oh no, I clicked... Oh wait, the wrong one. Never mind. Well, now anyway, we're gonna have to go to MotoGP. This one was driven 1 hour later, and I don't know. Yeah, it was like an hour later because of the rain. I was having breakfast at the time, and I was trying to do what Fabio Quartararo did, but I didn't drop my bowl of yogurt and granola like he did. So yeah. But it started raining worse, so I quickly stopped. Yeah, it's not good. The retirements, the only one was Remy Gardner, even though Luca Marini did crash. Suzuki brought in Danilo Petrucci to replace Juan Mir, who still isn't back. Yeah, his crash, it has basically ruled him out for such a long time. So yeah, I don't think that he will make it to the Valencia Grand Prix. Keep in mind that next time we are gonna have a triple header through Australia, Malaysia, and Valencia, aka Italy. Italy? Spain. It's late, guys. Fabio Quartararo, P17. He was not happy at all. So yeah. Last of the points were awarded to Raul Fernandez. At Espargaro, he got a long lap for having contact with Brad Binder during the race, but he fought his way back to P11. Marc Marquez, he's strong in the rain, but P5 for him. It's not great. Doesn't not the worst. I mean, at least he isn't in the gravel trap. And he was fighting with Bonaya and Zarco the whole time, so that also helped. Bonaya got onto the podium in 3rd place, then 2nd Jack Miller, and 1st was Miguel Oliveira. So yeah. Yeah. I think that next time in Australia, I'm hoping that it will be last race, last lap. But I do think that, I do think that if Francesco wins, then I feel like it's game over. Not really, but I feel like it is. Now we're going to look at the standings, because there's only 2 points between Quartararo and Bonaya. So, yeah. They're going to be fighting it out. But yeah, that's it. The only drivers who not have scored points are basically all the replacement drivers, except for Stefan Bradl, because he got points. Yeah. Now let's go to the Formula 1, because Formula 1 was also happening back at Singapore, my favorite street circuit. We've been doing, the guys of FIA Play have been doing some research, and every year they've raced in Singapore, the safety car came out, at least once. Most famous one was the Crashgate, which Formula 1 fans, long-term Formula 1 fans might remember, and some newer ones might not, but if you watch the Formula 1 YouTube channel, then you might know it, or if you watch WTF1. That's a real YouTube channel. I'm not making this up. They're really good, by the way. I love their videos. But let's look at the retirements. Retirements were Guan Yu Zhao, Nicholas Latifi, Fernando Alonso, Alexander Albon, so the whole Williams team out, Esteban Ocon, both Williams and Alpine out, and Yuki Tsunoda. So, few things that happened. Guan Yu Zhao and Latifi collided. Alonso's engine just went it just completely turned itself off. Alexander Albon, he had an incident in lap 1 where he basically went backwards into a wall, and then a few laps later, on lap 23 I believe it was just meant to be, because his race number is 23, he hit the wall, front wing gone, and then he got back to the pits and he shut his car off. I think that's what happened. Esteban Ocon, his car just gave a spectacular cloud and was leaking oil, just driving backwards. Not backwards onto the track, because if you have to turn here, like right here, he went like this. So if it went backwards, then it wouldn't interrupt anyone on the track. Of course, red flag. Not red flag, of course, the yellow flags. And then Yuki Tsunoda. Yuki Tsunoda basically had frontal contact. There were other drivers who hit the wall as well, like Lewis Hamilton. He did hit the wall, but he was able to keep going. Max Verstappen almost hit the wall together with Kevin Magnussen in lap 1. But yeah. We had a nice title fight between Hamilton, well, not title fight. We had a battle of the champions with Lewis Hamilton, Sebastian Vettel, and Max Verstappen. That was exciting. If Fernando Alonso hadn't retired yet, then he would have been in there. So then it would have really been the race of the champions. But yeah, George Russell, P14, he got lapped twice. Yeah, twice. But he was basically a guinea pig of Mercedes, going onto the slicks while it was raining. And basically, guys, I believe Thailand is ahead in the time zones, so it's like closer to us than Singapore. So I believe that it was the same same rainstorm that hit Singapore as it hit Thailand. So yeah, it was pouring, and he also had to wait like 1 hour. And then they, of course, just like in Monaco, they had a timer, because they knew they weren't going to finish it before the actual racing timer of 3 hours would be gone. So yeah. Yeah, George Russell P14 had an incident with Mick Schumacher in P13, Kevin Magnussen in P12, Valtteri Bottas 11, and then we go to the points with Pierre Gasly. Yeah. News around Pierre Gasly. I believe like next week or in 2 weeks' time, he's going to announce where he's going to be driving. Either at AlphaTauri or at Alpine. I'm hoping at AlphaTauri, but we'll see. P9 Lewis Hamilton, P8 Sebastian Vettel, P7 Max Verstappen, who had a terrible start. But anyway, Max is fight, he doesn't give up. Lance Stroll in P6, P5 Daniel Ricciardo, finally. P4 Lando Norris, P3 Carlos Sainz, P2 Charles Leclerc, and P1 Sergio Perez. Perez is like a lion, because there was like a 5-second penalty hanging over his head, and like on the radio they said like push now, go push, go drive your monster laps. And by it was like when it was set, it was like 5 minutes to go ish, and the gap between him and Leclerc was like one second. And then basically when it was getting close to like the 2 minute mark, he was already at 5. So then we were like, yeah, he gets to keep it unless he gets 10 seconds. The gap was eventually 7 seconds, and he did get a 5-second time penalty, but didn't drop any places, just in time. So yeah, he was getting good. But yeah, next weekend we're gonna go to Japan. We're gonna go back to Japan once again for the Suzuka Grand Prix, and then after that we basically have a little break until October the 21st. Well, 23rd technically, for the USA at COTA. And then the week after that it is Mexico, and 2 weeks after that it's Brazil, and the week after that it's Abu Dhabi. So yeah, whew, lots of races. But anyway, that's it for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. No MotoGP next weekend, because they're gonna go the weekend after that at Phillip Island, where they also couldn't race last year, I believe. all because of COVID, but now we suppressed COVID, basically put it aside, and we can now race there. And yeah, I'm excited for next weekend. Gonna get up early again. Yay. 6 a.m. UK time, which is 7 for me, but I'm gonna roll with it. Yeah. In the weekends, my alarm actually goes at 7, so if that happens, if I miss my first alarm and my second alarm goes off, which is at 7, I'm gonna have to rush downstairs and turn on the TV, because then it's at 7. Like when they say the race starts at this and this time, they don't start at that time. They just do the warm-up lap or the formation lap. I've kept count of that. Well, anyway, that's it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope you guys like my new layout back here. Hope you guys like my Formula 1 car up there. But yeah, like this video while you're at it. Subscribe if you're new. But that's it from me, and that's it from me for now. And I shall see you guys in another video. Bye!